Hello everyone, welcome to your mathematics class. Today we are going to start our new chapter, that is mensuration. So let us understand what is the meaning of mensuration. Mensuration is study of shapes. Now I hope shapes you all know. We have different kinds of shape. And there are some 2D and 3D shapes. Now what is the difference between 2D and 3D shapes? 2D shapes has 2 dimensions and these can be drawn on a paper. For example, square, rectangle, triangle, circle. These are the shapes which you can draw on paper very easily. And some of them has 2 dimensions or 1 dimension, like square has only 1 dimension, that is side, because we all know that all sides of a square are equal in length. So we will say that square has only 1 dimension, which is its side. This rectangle has 2 dimensions. You can see the dimension or the measurement of these 2 sides are different and opposite sides of rectangle are equal. So that means we have 2 dimensions for rectangle, that is length and breadth. In the same way, for a triangle, we always have a base and its height. Similarly, a circle has only 1 dimension, that is radius, or you can also consider diameter as a dimension of a circle. So these are 2D shapes which can be drawn on paper easily. In this chapter, we are going to study these 2D shapes only. 3D shapes you all know. 3D shapes are those which have 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions. For example, a cube. This is known as 3D shape because it will be having length, breadth and thickness. Since it is a cube, that means a 3D form of a square. So this is having all sides of equal length. So its dimension is only side. Then one is cuboid, where you will be having length, breadth and height. And height. So that means these 3D shapes are very similar to all the objects which we use in our daily life. And 2D shapes are only those which can be easily plotted on a paper. So in this chapter we are going to study only about 2D shapes. So I will not go beyond this for 3D ones. We will concentrate only on 2D shapes. Now among those 2D shapes, there are 2 kinds of shapes are there. Regular and irregular shapes. Now what are regular shapes? The shapes having same length of dimension. Whatever its dimension is, that will have same length. Those are called regular shapes. And what are irregular shapes? Which do not have same length of its dimension. For example, square is a regular shape because its all four sides are equal in length. So that means this has same length for all of its dimensions. So this is a regular shape. A rectangle will be an irregular shape because it is having two dimensions and they both are different. They are not equal in length. So that is why rectangle is a irregular shape. So any shape which is having same length of all of its sides will be known as regular shapes, and the shape which is not having same length of its all sides, that will be known as irregular shapes. So whenever you are asked about regular shape, that means that shape is having same length of all of its sides. Doesn't matter whatever be the shapes. For like, you can be given as this is an octagon, and if it is said that it is regular in shape, that means these all 8 sides will be equal in length. If it is regular, then all the sides will be equal in length. But if it is said that this is irregular, that means all sides are not equal in length. Only if all sides are not equal. Okay, so this is the difference between regular and irregular shapes. Now next comes open and closed shapes. Now what are open shapes and what are closed shapes? Open shapes are those which we draw starting from one point and ends at some another point. If I am drawing this shape and I am ending it at this point, so this will become an open-ended or open shape. So open shapes are those which are started from different point and ends at different point. Those are known as open shapes, or you can identify them by just seeing that one end of it is open, it is not closed. So you can say directly by seeing this that this is an open shape. Now what are closed shapes? Closed shapes are those shapes which you start drawing from one point, you travel through whatever space or whatever distance but ends at the same point. Then this will be known as a closed shape. This is a closed one. It doesn't matter whatever is the shape, it should be closed. The starting and the ending point should be same. That will be known as closed shape. So this was about shapes, that what kind of different shapes we have. We have 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Then regular and irregular shape and open and closed shapes. Now let us understand what all parameters are we going to understand in this chapter. There are 2 parameters. One is perimeter and another is area. We are going to learn how we can find out perimeter of any given shape and area of any shape or object. Same is for perimeter also, shape or object. Right? In our daily life, you must have heard the term area in context to your home, your room, fields, etc. There you must have heard the term area. Now you will understand how you can find out area. And before that, we will learn how to find out perimeter. So first concept is perimeter. Now what is perimeter? As the name is suggesting, this word is made by the combination of two words, that is peri plus meter. Now meter is the measurement of anything. Meter means measurement and peri means periphery, or you can say outer boundary. For example, you are given a field of this shape and you are asked to find out its perimeter. So, what will be the periphery of this field or outer boundary of this field? If I name it, if this is the name, these are the names which are given to every end. So we can say that this side AB, BC, CD, DE, EF, FG, GH, HI, IJ, JK and KL and LA. These will be the outer boundaries of this field. Right? Because we are not going inside the field. We are just going around the shape of the field, and this will be its outer boundary, and the outer boundary is known as periphery. So that means the same is the perimeter of this field. So if you add all the measurement of these sides, then you will get the perimeter of this field. Now there is one thing that you can find out perimeter only for closed shapes. Only for closed shapes. Now open shapes, perimeter cannot be determined. Now this is the first method, that you just add all the given sides of any shape and you will get the perimeter. Another method is, if you have any shape, for suppose this is a wire given to you and it is asked to make a shape from this. So whatever shape you are making with this wire, for suppose you are making this shape, so the perimeter of this shape will be equal to the length of this wire. Because you are using only this wire to make this shape, that means perimeter of this shape will be equal to the length of wire. Right? This is another method by which you can find perimeter of any shape if any side or any dimension is not given to you. Because in the first method you can only add sides when you know their measurements. So these are two things about perimeter, that sum of the sides on the outer boundary of any field is the perimeter, and practically if there is no dimension given to you, what you can do, you just put a thread over the shape and measure the length of that thread, you will get the perimeter of particular shape. Now let's understand how we can calculate perimeters. So general formula for perimeter is equal to sum of length of all sides. Whatever be the number of sides, you will just add their lengths and you will get the perimeter. So this is the general formula for every shape. For example, if this is the shape given and the sides are given as 3 cm, 4 cm, 1 cm, 2 cm, 6 cm, 5 cm, 2 and 1. So the length of all the sides are given. What you can do, To find out perimeter, you will apply the general formula, this one, and you will write perimeter is equal to AB plus BC plus CD plus DE plus EF plus FG plus GH plus HA, and that's it, because AB is already there. So you can count down the number of sides: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you just put the values of A, B, B, C, C, D, D and so on, and you will get the perimeter. Now here we can denote perimeter with P. So I am writing just P, and I will put values of AB. AB is 3 cm, BC is 4 cm, CD is 1 cm, DE is 2 cm, EF is 6, then it is 5, and then 2 and 1. Right, now just add all these values and you will get the perimeter of this closed shape. Add them. And you will get your answer as 24 centimeters. So this 24 centimeter is perimeter of this particular shape. Right? So this is the way to find out perimeter of any irregular closed shape. You can see this is an irregular shape because the the length of all the sides are different. So this is an irregular shape. So this is the method to find out perimeter of an irregular closed shape. Now we'll understand how we can find out perimeter of a regular closed shape. Now in regular shapes, any shape could be there. I am taking a pentagon for an example. This is AB, CD, DE and EF, and the side length is 5 centimeter. When I am saying this is a regular pentagon, that means if you are given that side is 5 centimeter, that means all 5 sides are of 5 centimeter. This is also 5, this is also 5, this is also 5, this one is also 5, and that is also 5. Right? By the word regular, you should come to know that all sides are having equal length. Now how can you find out perimeter of this regular shape? You can apply this general formula, or you can do one thing, that there is a formula for it, that is perimeter is equals to number of sides multiplied with length of side. This is the formula for regular one. Now what is the number of sides here? It is 5. This P denotes perimeter. And what is the length of side? Length of side is given as 5 centimeters. So you will write 5 here. This gives you perimeter as 25 centimeters. So perimeter of this shape is 25 centimeters. The same answer you can get by just applying the general formula of perimeter, that is sum of length of all the sides. You just add all the sides and you will get the same perimeter. So that means this general formula can be applied to both regular and irregular shapes, but this formula can only be applied to regular shapes. This is particularly for regular shapes only, which are having equal length of their sides. Right? By this, what happens? We got formulas for our two shapes. One shape is square and another is rectangle. So two formulas can be derived by this general formula. Like for square, we know that square is a regular shape because it has all sides equal in length. So this is a regular one. We can directly write number of sides multiplied with side length or length of side. Right? So number of sides is 4 and it is multiplied with side, or you can give a name to this side as A or X, whatever you like. So this formula becomes perimeter of square is equal to 4A. So this is the formula for square. You can remember it. or you can find perimeter of a square just by the concept of this general formula. It doesn't matter. Whichever you feel easier, you can use that. Now comes for the rectangle. We know rectangle is an irregular shape. There is two dimensions. One is length. I am denoting L for length and B for breadth. This is also length and this is also breadth. So if we need to find out perimeter of rectangle, then what we will do? We will add all the sides because this is our general formula for perimeter. So we will write L plus B plus L plus B. Now you can see there are 2L and 2B. So you can write 2L plus 2B. Now 2 can be taken as common and it will become L plus B. Right? So these two statements you can use as formula for perimeter of rectangle. You can use 2L plus 2B, or you can use twice of L plus B, that is length plus breadth. So perimeter of rectangle is twice of length plus breadth, and perimeter of a square is 4 into side. These are two formulas for the perimeter of a square and perimeter of rectangle. So this is the concept, the first concept of this chapter. Let us understand this very well with the questions of exercise 10.1. Let's keep it till here for today. In our next session, we will be solving exercise 10.1. Thank you.